All we know is Kevin Bacon's character Sebastian is a bad, bad man.
Yeah. Yep. Kevin Bacon. But Kevin Bacon's awesome. Such a cool character. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday, October 15th, and we are so happy to have you here on our 31 Days of Halloween. Today's movie is a movie that came out in 2000, and it is Hollow Man, starring Kevin Bacon and a couple of other actors that I was actually really surprised to see in this movie, like Josh Brolin. I completely forgot he was in this movie.
Yeah, Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah. And oh man, there was it's that one guy who's always in movies. He's Greg Grunberg. Like, he's always in movie. He plays Carter. He was very awesome to see, and he's great comedic relief. Also, this movie is awesome. This movie rocks. I watched this movie a lot back in the day on the Sci-Fi channel or the FX channel, one of the two. It was a very like replayed movie on TV. Even though it's rated R, it definitely like wouldn't be rated R if it came out today. So this movie's awesome. I was very, very surprised, especially because when I was loading it up, you know, I like to fact check some stuff like when it came out and stuff. And I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie, and it sits at a 28%. It is a dud movie. Which is so interesting to see because I really liked it back then. So I was like, okay, upon this rewatch, is it gonna be good? Am I gonna see it or view it the same way? And surprisingly, like, I really liked this movie. I thought it was really good. Is it a very weird movie? Yeah, it is. It's very strange, and it's very basic in terms of you know that guy that does the voiceover for like movie trailers back in the day, where it's like, this summer, coming to you soon is this. You know what I mean? The whole, like, towards the end of the movie, I was trying to think of the basic, like, way to describe this movie to somebody. And his voice popped in my head, and I was just like, this summer, coming to you, a perv gets the power to be invisible. Oh my God. It's so interesting, this movie. But yeah, Kevin Bacon is a scientist among a group of scientists who are just like studying the technology to make you become invisible, basically. And it sounds like they're doing it for the US military, which is terrifying in its own right. And then it so happens that they run a human trial on Kevin Bacon, and he does it himself on himself, right? Like,
he does it on himself.
Yeah.
He says the trials. He basically, they have a meeting with the officials, and he just lies to the council and says it's going through when basically the project still has hiccups. Yeah.
So it happens on him. He turns invisible. They have a couple of other invisible animals that are test subjects as well. Like, we saw a gorilla in the very opening scene, where they put the rat in the cage and he eats the rat. And then you get really cool effects in this movie, actually.
Yeah, the VFX for this movie they're early 2000s, so they're just really well portrayed with you know, them turning invisible, and you see all their ectoskeleton, you see the skeleton, you see all the muscle tissue coming together. It really well portrayed, even with the ape or gorilla, and then Kevin Bacon portraying a human being and all the matter of the human being as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of parts during the movie where you get to see, like, when they try to cure him at one point of his invisibility, and he injects the serum into his arm. And then you see, like, it go through all of his veins. You see his heart pumping. You see his lungs forming. Like, you see his, the inner workings of him coming back. And it's cool. It looked really cool. It looked really fun. And then I also liked the like makeshift suit that they pull over, like the skin they pull over his face and stuff. I think it's cool, especially when he goes out into the world for the first time, and he's driving his car, and then the kids are like in the other car, and then he like takes off his glasses and it's like, oh, like it scares the crap out of him. I think it's funny. This is a very interesting take on the Invisible Man aspect, and I like the horror out of it because it is scary, especially like who knows what people would do if they had the power to be invisible, like um and they just so happen to choose a very more like adult-esque theme for this movie, giving it to pretty much a pervy guy.
You're giving
uh,
it to a guy that's just he's just
Very
he's
egotistic
very
and
egotistic, and he's a sexual deviant.
yeah.
And there's some disturbing scenes in this movie because
Hmm.
of that. And he just he the lust of being invisible, and he loves it so much that the horror element comes um into play with a second and final act of this movie, where he decides to kill his entire crew that helps him on this project.
Hmm.
And in the end, Elizabeth Shue and Josh Brolin's character are victorious in defeating him. But it's just sinister. He's sinister the whole time in this movie, and he does. I mean, he played a good character,
He does.
showing that sinister side of him and the evil side of him. But in the end, it's a great executed movie, and it's actually paced really well as well.
It is paced really well. I very much was never taken out of it at any point in the movie. So I liked it. The final act, yeah. It's awesome. It turns into almost like a haunted house movie in the final act. In words to speak, because in the final act he changes all of the team's passcodes and all of their clearance and everything and locks them in their facility, and basically he's just an invisible man lurking and hunting them down one by one. Um, and it's cool because they're looking for him also, trying to defend themselves, and you get a lot of cool action out of that last bit.
A lot
Um,
of cool action, a lot of really well music done in the store in the score to build the suspense as well.
yeah. And good, I feel like it was good writing, like especially towards that last bit because like what was, I forget the character's name, but she throws the blood everywhere on the ground and then she's like, take one step, I dare you. Like that's really smart for that situation. And then she throws the blood on him so then you could see him. Thought that was really cool. Or when Josh Brolin breaks the pipe and the fog, like
The steam.
the steam goes everywhere and you see him in the steam. Thought that was cool. Or when she burns the hell out of him, also really cool. And it's just it's awesome. It drags on a little bit towards the end, especially when they're going up the elevator shaft. But I didn't have a problem with it. I was like, it could have been cut, but like it doesn't matter all that much. But yeah, this is a solid ass movie to me. So it was a really good rewatch. Um, and you got anything you want to say about it, or
Not really. I think I've covered
yeah,
most
we
of it.
got
All we know is Kevin Bacon's character Sebastian is a bad man.
yeah, yep, Kevin Bacon. But Kevin Bacon's awesome, such a cool character. Uh, all right, I'm gonna give the Hollow Man a 4 out of 5. I think it's good. I think it's a solid watch. Definitely a movie I'll keep re-watching over the years. Yeah, it checks a lot of boxes, and I think it's above good. It's definitely not a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes scoring. So, what would you give Hollow Man?
I'm right alongside you. It's a 4. It checks all those boxes. So yeah, I'm not going to reiterate my words here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do some fun facts for Hollow Man before my telephone dies. An anatomically correct, totally working computer model was created of Kevin Bacon's entire body, down to the last capillary. The 3D model has since been donated to scientific researchers.
That's really, really, really cool.
That's a that's a dope fact.
That is.
During filming, Kevin Bacon wore skin-tight costume in green, blue, gray, or black to assist with adding adding visual effects. Some of the castmates said that the hardest part of the role was not laughing at someone painted in black, green, blue, or gray pretending to be mean. Bacon admitted that he accepted the role partly under the false assumption that he would need to be on set for scenes of Sebastian invisible and that it would be an easy performance. He claimed that to the contrary, it ended up being the most physically demanding and difficult role of his career thus far.
It seems like it would be difficult wearing all that paint and doing all that stuff for CG work.
Hollow Man was one of the very few films allowed to shoot directly in front of the Pentagon building, with Paul Verhoeven expressing surprise that the script was approved because of the themes of the United States government commissioning scientific experiments into making living beings invisible.
This is very true. What you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
That's the scary thing to think about.
Guy Pearce and Edward Norton were considered for the role of Sebastian Kane. Kevin Bacon, who was chosen for his ability to be both charming and diabolical.
I think they casted the right person.
I think so too. In order to use the title, producers bought the rights to Dan Simmons' novel, Hollow Man. The novel has nothing to do with the Invisible Man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
But that's how it is. Copyrights. This film was the third Paul Verhoeven. I hate that I can't pronounce names sometimes.
Yeah. New people to our channel. Like we have a problem. We're trying to get better at it.
We're gonna get better at it. We have to get better at it. Directed the film that was nominated for the Oscar for Best Visual Effects. The first two films are Total Recall in 1990 and Starship Troopers in 1997. Total Recall is the only film that he directed that has won an award.
That's cool. But the original Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
The 1991. This is the first Hollywood movie of Paul's that got an R rating in its first submission to the MPAA. His previous American films, RoboCop, Total Recall, Basic Instinct, Showgirls, and Starship Troopers, initially received X and NC-17 ratings, of which all except for Showgirls were recut to receive an R rating.
That was a blast from the past, Showgirls.
The film was nominated for Oscar for Best Visual Effects along with Gladiator and The Perfect Storm. It lost to the former. Let's see. The tranquilizer gun used in the beginning and near the end are in fact Sheridan PGP paintball makers, an early model paintball gun. These props appear to have been also used in 2001's Scary Movie 2.
Very, very interesting. They're using paintball guns for that scene where maybe the blood scene.
Yeah. And then I'll do one more for you guys. Kevin Bacon wanted the role of Sebastian Kane badly because he really wanted to portray an invisible man whose own morality decreases.
That's cool.
That is cool. Okay, everybody, that's it for today's episode of Hollow Man. Stick around for tomorrow's episode. It'll be a good one. And thank you so much. Hit that like and subscribe down below. Go to patreon.com/thecalvincam. Join us, one of our tiers there. Join the community. We love interacting with you guys. Go to Instagram and TikTok. We would love to have you follow us over there. Get some of our little funny clips out of the way. And thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow, everyone.
See you then.